lose sleep at night? Grab your pillow tight. Do you struggle to find why Han and Luke had to die? Are you just a mess? Does Hollywood leave you stressed because their sequels are more important than fan requests? Hold on to your chair, cause talking poop takes you there. You might have to change into some new underwear. Talking poop.
Hey everybody, welcome to Talking Poop. I'm your host Jason Bromley, and today is another episode of our ooky spooky Halloween series. We've talked about a couple of my favorite Halloween movies. I thought, you know what? It's time to mix it up a little bit. So I brought in a disgusting trash person off the street. I gave them $10 and said, I need you to help co-host a podcast with me. And you know what? She said, I'll do it for $5.
I was going to say, don't lie to these people. You said you were going to do it for $5 and a beer. I'm still waiting on my beer.
My co-host today, Alicia Ironio.
Fuck, I hate you.
Alicia, it's good to see you. You haven't been on the podcast in a while. How's it going?
I know. Well, I was trying to write you off for a while, just seeing like how long I could ignore you and see if you'd get the hint, but
it doesn't work.
I get the hint.
No, it doesn't work.
Still really trying.
I'm the worst at keeping in touch. So like when I don't talk to somebody for 3 months and they're like, finally, our friendship is over, then I just call you up and I'm like, I just talked to you yesterday, and you're like, I was really angry with you for 3 months, and now you're just calling me like nothing happened.
Yeah, my thing is always like, if I don't talk to somebody for a long time, I just say, oh, sorry, I just woke up from a nap. They're like, it's been like 2 weeks. I'm like, well, sometimes life just hits you hard.
Speaking of life hitting you hard, I approached Alicia today at about 3 o'clock and said, can you do a podcast with me tonight? Because we really got to get one out this week. And she said, first, what are we going to podcast about? And I said, Halloween, of course. And then she said, well, I just started drinking.
No, that's not. No, let me tell this story. I was at work and you texted me. And I will admit I did see it. And I was busy because I'm a hard worker.
You were drinking at work?
No, I was at work thinking about drinking. And I was like, I know what I'm going to do right when I get home. I'm going to take my pants off. I'm going to pour me a couple glasses of wine because I double fist because mama ain't raised no bitch. And so
the first step to doing this podcast is take your pants off. So you were ready.
I'm getting frosty because that's who I am as an individual. And I said, if you're willing to do it, let's do it. So don't make me out to be the bad guy. I'm doing it. That's a good time.
I asked her at 3 o'clock my time. She's in Iowa and I'm in Arizona. So at 3 o'clock my time, I said, what are you doing? She said, I am drinking, which to her is an activity, not something that she does while she's doing something else. So she said, I am drinking. Look. And then I said, when can we podcast? And it actually was, I have to admit, it was my fault. I had to wait till the kids went to bed before I could podcast. I told her this. I said, can you wait until the kids are in bed? And she said, I'm not going to stop drinking between now and then. So I have to warn you, I might be a little frosty. No, she said little frosty when we got on the phone. Now, so you guys know, this isn't just like a smooth process where I just give Alicia a call and everything works out the way that it should, and then we just start right into a podcast. No, we spend up to 45 minutes dicking around with each other, trying to figure out how to make Skype work. The whole time, Alicia is playing me songs and saying, look, are you sure we should do this podcast? Because I feel like you already hate me.
I mean, let the record state that you've always hated me. I've accepted it. It's just how our friendship works. But also, I got a piano today, and I'm celebrating with beers and wines. And I play my music because, honestly, I got this piano for you, Jason. I got it all for you and all for your podcast because I support the art. It wasn't for me to make my stupid, dumb, silly, stupid fucking songs. It's for me to make my stupid, silly, fucking stupid songs for you. You're welcome.
Speaking of your stupid, fucking, silly songs, we have one that you just wrote and sent to me. And we're going to play it at the end of this episode because that's my favorite thing to do. I'm putting you out there. And we have a new song this week, and oddly, it's about being hungover.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
So we have a new song to premiere at the end of the episode, so stay tuned for that. Also,
I'm gonna be hearing that song tomorrow in my head when I wake up. I know it.
Every single podcast that I've done recently, like, it takes longer and longer before we get to the point of what the podcast is going to be.
That's what she said.
Inquiring listeners want to know. So this podcast is actually not specific to a Halloween movie per se. I thought it would be fun to talk about like Halloween in general and our experiences on Halloween. And since Alicia literally grew up in the trash, I really want to know what Halloweens in her youth were like. And when I brought up this subject earlier, Alicia actually sent me a picture of one such Halloween costume. And people, it is the horridest ass SpongeBob I've ever seen.
Hey, my stepdad's gonna hear this, and he's gonna be really upset you said that. He spent a lot of hours on that costume, and it's great. The only downside I would say to this costume is that the nose on this costume.
I was gonna bring up the nose.
Most flaccid I have ever seen out of anything.
It looks like Ron Jeremy's shriveled up old man dick. Like, but it's the problem with it is it's so thin and yucky. It hangs down past the teeth.
Hey, yeah, no, it's good. It's great. You know what? Hard work was put into it, and you can tell.
Well, we're gonna put it up on our Instagram for all of our listeners to see by the time this episode airs. But also, most SpongeBob costumes I've seen, your head sticks out at the top. Your head was completely engulfed in this yellow sponge.
I gotta tell you the story about this costume. So, okay, as you know, I was obsessed with SpongeBob. Still am. SpongeBob is so, like, the original episodes, like I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of the new ones because, you know, I'm an adult and I don't have time. And also it's not on Netflix. But regardless, it's like the greatest fucking cartoon ever. Like, it's so stupid and it's so amazing and I love it. And I've always been obsessed with it. And so for Halloween, my stepdad was like, oh, my mother taught me how to sew. I'm gonna sew you this SpongeBob costume.
Hang on. What age was this?
Oh, jeez. I think it was like 10.
10. So you were almost like too old to be trick-or-treating.
Oh, I was, yeah. No. And I'm a tall kid.
Yeah.
I was a tall kid. Not am a tall kid. I was the tall kid.
Yeah, you have
I'm
like
not a kid.
Those long Amazon legs that were just sticking out of the bottom of that sponge.
Oh, stop. You noticed? Oh.
But not like a good way. Not like you have muscular tone or anything. It's like if a giraffe if a giraffe split in half and the ass end went trick-or-treating.
Yeah, they were super like scraggly and thin, like tiny. And it just like everyone's like, oh, look at her ankles. Like,
yeah, and there's
they
like
look like they're about to break.
There's no knee that like separates the calf from the thigh. It's the same size around all the way up. It's just one cylindrical tube that just like goes up to like a skinny deflated ass.
Hey, no, I have always had a bubble butt. Always.
I don't know.
The only good quality of me, and that's it. Everything else has stayed the same. I haven't changed one bit since
I don't know what you consider a bubble, but
well, anyway, this costume. So, yeah, most people, like, their head is exposed, or, like, you wear a mask or something like that. My stepdad got so creative. He engulfed me in this thing. He put, like, this mesh, this mesh screen on the front, and he, like, painted over it with fabric paint, but that way I could see, like, where I'm going. But he had these 4 pillows inside that, like, 2 were kind of where my hips were, 1 on each side, and then 2 were above my shoulders to keep the square shape of SpongeBob, as you know, because he's a sponge.
He is square pants.
A square.
If you didn't have square pants, people would be like, ew, what are you?
Oops. I guess I ripped my pants again.
The best thing about this was, like, the pants were all sewn, like, together with the head of the costume. Like, everything was one.
The whole thing was built to engulf you.
It was pretty good, yeah. And so I'm walking around. I am a square body, and like I can't put my arms to my sides because like they're surrounded by these huge plushy pillows. I don't know where we got these pillows. They're not pillows that you would put on your bed. They're like I honestly thought they were like these weird, like like when you put your parents in a home kind of hospital pillows.
They're like 64 Oldsmobile like airbags.
Vintage, like classic old pillows.
They're welded into the costume.
Yeah, and it was amazing. So for Halloween one year, that year, they're like, Alicia, we gotta really showcase this costume. We gotta get you out there. The public needs to see you. You've got a duty.
In your costume.
You got a duty to perform. You have to like show, you got to give these kids a good time. I felt like a fucking Disney princess in this costume. I felt like I was the shit. I felt like I was the character. I couldn't, get out of character. And so they took me to, I think it was the Arrowhead Mall in Phoenix, actually, to be honest.
So you left Flagstaff and went to the big time.
No, I was actually living in Peoria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think it was the Arrowhead Mall. I can't quite remember. Anyway, walking through, all these kids are coming up to hug me, and they just think it's the greatest thing. They're like, holy shit, it's SpongeBob. And they're all doing his laugh, and they're all like doing all kinds of quotes, and I'm just saying them back. And
I love my job at the Krusty Krab. I sleep with my shoes on. I like jelly on both sides of my toes. I've got an overdue library book. I think jellyfishing and bubble blowing are the same overbite. I've never been late for work. I've said the word fancy in conversation. I like to dance to loading zone announcements. I still don't have my driver's license. I'm a little on the short side, and I'm wearing 3 pairs of underwear right now.
And it was great. It felt great and awesome. I didn't get as much candy as I thought I would get because people kept wanting to take pictures with me, and I'm like, no, pictures are great. But, like, where's the fucking Snickers bars? That's what I'm worried about.
Right.
And anyway, mall security comes up to me, and they're like, hands on their hips, like on their, I don't know, what small tasers that they have. So, like, toys.
Hey, being a mall cop is a hard job. Don't disrespect it.
A sworn oath to protect this mall and all inside it.
Well, my respect to the men in blue at the Arrowhead Mall. I'm so sorry.
They were just doing what they had needed to do to keep their country safe.
I'm pretty sure this was, I mean, granted, it might have been like right after 9/11, but this was before all the shootings you see in malls and schools and all that shit. But they got so terrified to see this little 10-year-old with skinny ass legs and like knobby knees walking through as SpongeBob. And they were like, ma'am or sir, whoever's behind this.
Whoever's behind this devious costume, reveal yourself.
If we can't see your face, you gotta get the fuck out.
Do you have a bomb strapped under there? Do you have a sponge? I can't even say it. A sponge bomb? I can't say it. Oh, damn it.
A SpongeBob?
A SpongeBob Square Pants.
Shit, I'm supposed to be the one that's drunk. That's so fucking funny. You got a sponge bomb in there. Oh, fuck, as a Patrick Ninja Starfish. I hate you so much.
That's stupid. Not Patrick. My brother just took his shirt off for a second. Don't be an asshole. Oh my god.
It's so sad because my brother does look like that without his shirt on.
Oh shit.
Oh, when he shaves his facial hair too, for some reason his head gets all like cone shaped.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
Anyway, oh goddamn! So I had to leave. That's the end of the story.
They seriously made you leave because they couldn't see your face?
Yeah, and like you couldn't see it because I was in this SpongeBob costume, but I was crying underneath. I was this little 10-year-old kid crying behind this mesh like opening of like painted on SpongeBob face, and I was just bawling silently, like I just want my candy.
At least you were in a sponge to soak up your tears.
Like I had all those pillows around me. I just like turned my head to the right and like wiped my snot all over it. Like okay, I'll leave. But like I felt like in an instant, I felt like such a celebrity, and then it was all taken away by these fucking mall cops.
That's how it goes, man. 1 minute you're on top of the world, taking pictures. Next minute, you're just a piece of trash laying on the ground in a SpongeBob costume.
I mean, I'm surprised they were ready to throw me out, like pick me up, scrawny legs and all, like just toss me to the curb.
Oh yeah, they will tackle your SpongeBob ass.
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
Tackle my square ass. Oh man.
You should have asked them when they came up to you, you know, and they're all like tough, like mall cops, and you should have been like, "What are you dressed as?"
Oh, who are you? Clever. So original. I know I should have. If only I had that attitude, but like it took about 20 years until I got that attitude.
So that was a homemade costume that your stepdad made you with
yes.
love. And how many years did you wear that costume? Was it just the 1 year?
Honestly, my lawyer has asked me not to answer any questions like that without them present. So I do remember though. Oh God, man, you had me laughing so hard I was crying. My nose got runny.
Blowing snot all over the camera. Like I can hardly see you.
One thing, a tradition though with my family. So I think my stepdad, I don't know if he's Scottish or Irish or something. He's a fire crotch to the max though. And
I don't want to know why you know that.
I just assume he's got red hair. But he would make like this steamed cabbage and like
I bet that smelled good.
It was like split pea soup and like some other white bean soup, and we had to finish every bite before we went trick-or-treating because he didn't want to, you finish your food before you go get your candy.
Wait, so that was like a Halloween tradition? He would make that filth for you?
Every fucking Halloween.
Was it called something?
So bad. I don't even remember. I just remember like powering through it, like plugging my nose and just chomping that shit down. Like, I'm ready.
Come and get your Scottish goulash, kids, before you go get your candy. And don't forget, Daddy got to go through it first. So, Alicia, I need to know, what was it like trick-or-treating door-to-door in a trailer park?
Oh, man, yeah. I totally did live in a trailer park, though.
Do you trick-or-treat in the trailer park, or did you, like, go to a good neighborhood?
No, we fucking trick-or-treated in the trailer park. Oh my God, that
man.
is a great name for a novel. Trick-or-treating in the trailer park. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I did. I totally lived in like just like manufactured homes, like trailer park.
Yeah. So you walked up the old wooden steps and knocked on the metal door, on the tinfoil door.
Yeah. No, you could tell like which neighbors really liked you and your family. It was mostly like which neighbors were friends of good friends of my mom.
Right. Because you could see in the window if they're there sitting on their shitty couch. Yeah. Like nobody has like real like blinds in a trailer, so you can walk up and see if they're there. So if they're just sitting there in the dark and you're like, I see you in there, you motherfuckers, and they're like, we ain't got no candy.
See, our neighbors were really fucking savage though, because they'd be sitting on their porch and they'd have a bowl of candy next to them and they'd say, sorry, we ran out.
Oh, because you were
like, you little bitch. Oh, like, I see your candy right there.
Hey, Rupert, whatever you do, if you see them little Irano fucks coming by, you tell them we're out of candy here.
No, it's pretty rare. We only had like one or two houses that really did that to us, but like, fuck.
Tired of that little Alicia playing in our cesspool behind the house.
It was called the green belt, okay? It was the strip of grass in the community trailer park that looked the greenest and most full.
Yep, they always call the greenbelt the place where the sewage lays the most, and so it grows.
It did stink, though. I think it was super reclaimed water.
Yeah.
I stepped in a ditch last night, man. I almost froze my balls off, man.
For sure.
But no, you get the best candy. It was the best candy I got from like the good neighbors, the neighbors that were like best friends with my mom. They would save us the full-size candy bars.
Oh, and shit. Yeah, that was always the big stuff.
I didn't have to. But then again, I also, like, scooped dog poop in the summers for them to, like, make enough money to go to, like, the community pool that year. So they knew, like, I was a hard worker.
Yeah, so you just go with, like, your poopy hands and, like, your white tennis shoes that have been stepped in dog shit. And then
in my SpongeBob costume.
Yeah, you just rolled down to the community pool. Tried to go in your underwear and your mom's sports bra.
The sad part is that second part's not wrong.
Oh my God, Alicia.
Wait, I want to know, how do you know all these stereotypes about trailer parks? Like
because me and my friends would drive by in our fancy cars and laugh at all the kids trick-or-treating in the trailer park. So, like, I lived in a real neighborhood with houses that didn't have wheels and stuff.
I remember the first time I saw, like, a real house. I was like, so can you pick it up with another car? I don't get it. What
good is that house? You can't even roll it away. What do you do when you don't pay the rent on time?
So nobody takes your house from you? That's amazing.
I knocked on the door and it sounded different, like it was hard and wood.
Didn't sound like tin.
The glass didn't shake when I hit on the door.
My parents are going to call me and tell me how much of an ungrateful piece of shit I am. I already knew that.
So I lived in a real neighborhood, and a problem was, like, there was always the nice old lady who would give, like, the candied apples that she baked, and my mom would throw those right away. They always looked delicious and amazing. They would always be like caramel dipped with, like, sprinkles all over them, and I was like, oh, that looks awesome. And then my mom would be like, yep, in the trash. And I'd be like, why? She's like, because that old lady definitely put some razor blades in there to kill you kids.
More like a little bit of cocaine if she's a cool old lady.
You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
We live different lives.
We did live different lives, and that's okay, because look where we are now.
I mean,
now we're podcasting partners, not just...
Now we're kind of partners.
It's almost like we're equals now.
Yeah, but
Except
I'm better.
I just grew up, like, in a real house with parents, like, only two parents that loved me.
Yeah, no, yes.
You had multiple sets.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm so sorry for you. You're so unlucky.
I only have a sibling instead of, like, 15.
Did your parents make you a SpongeBob costume?
You know what? My mom never made me a SpongeBob costume. They never made me Scottish goulash. None of that.
You gotta say, like, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. Scottish goulash, Trebek.
See, now you gotta get into the impressions. Okay.
I want to hear your SpongeBob impression.
No, it's too good.
Come on.
Too good.
Come on. People came to you and they were like,
no,
excuse
you can't.
me.
I've had a couple beers.
Can we get a picture with you? And what did you say?
I went, no, I can't do it. I could do. I think I could do a good. I could do an okay Patrick, but
let's hear your Patrick.
My fiance's twin brother, does the most perfect Patrick impression, and I believe it's because he actually is Patrick. Like he's a little Patrick-esque. I'm say the nice one.
Are you saying that he looks like a starfish?
No, I'm not saying looks nothing, because he's my fiance's twin brother. So I can't say anything about. Although they do look absolutely like 100, like way opposite, like super opposite. It's weird. They look nothing alike.
That's because he's Mexican and your fiance is a white person, and they're definitely not related. And I know you can't say it, but I'll go ahead and say it. I've seen pictures. He is Mexican. They're not twins. And your husband is 100% white with blonde hair, and he is brown with black hair.
Yeah. He does. He's like pretty tan. I think he's like Puerto Rican.
No, they say tan, but that is Mexican. That is a Mexitan. That is a Mexitan.
Mexitan. Well, he does like what is it? Well, it's because you have it set to Wombo, SpongeBob. I Wombo. He, she, me, Wombo. It's the study of wombology. It's first grade SpongeBob.
I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Patrick.
You can do SpongeBob. I knew it. I knew you could.
Not with a few beers. I could do it better. Anyway, it is a really good time though when me and Alan, that's James' brother. Can I say their names, or is that like not?
No, you can say their names. I mean, right. You said the name of the person that you had intercourse with, and then said horrible things about him. So you might as well.
I did not. You bleeped that out.
I bleeped that out.
A mystery.
Because I was trying to save friendships, but it didn't work out in the end.
It didn't.
I'm gonna kill all these fucks.
All right, so your first Halloween that you can remember, what was your costume?
I think it was that SpongeBob one.
No, you did. You did not start at 10 trick or treating.
I'm trying to think.
Poor kids' favorite thing is trick or treating and going around houses and getting things for free.
I can't remember.
You don't remember anything before 10? You were molested.
No, because I had a much poorer or much more poor childhood before we moved in with my stepdad. We didn't do Halloween. Wait.
Godzilla?
Jason. Damn, Jason, that was pretty girly of you.
That was not very ladylike.
Are you gonna leave that in there?
Yes, I am. Happy Halloween.
Oh, happy Halloween.
Whoa.
No, I actually don't remember. Like, this is gonna get depressing, but I actually didn't celebrate. I didn't get a chance to celebrate my like Halloween before I moved in with my stepdad. So that was like, I think that's why he spent so much time making that costume, is because that was like our first. That was like your
first Halloween.
Like Halloween.
Wow.
And yeah, and it was like he knew like that was a huge thing for me. Is like I was obsessed with SpongeBob, so he like went all out for it. I remember he was awake for like, I'd wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He was still up painting and sewing that fucking costume. Like, and I was just like, I looked at him, arms crossed, and I was like, "You got potential, kid. You got potential. Could be a stepdaddy of sorts. Okay, I see it."
So some of my greatest memories as a child were like Halloween day, when you would go to school and you'd get to wear your costume to school, and there was like a Halloween parade and all the kids walked around in a circle and your parents came and they clapped and took pictures, and it was so cute, and you got to show everybody your costume and you're so proud of it. What did you do on those days? Like, were you aware of, I mean, Halloween had to be on your radar, right?
I don't know if I fucking repressed all that, because I don't remember any of that shit happening.
I remember my teachers bringing like a hobo sack and like a little bit of makeup, and they would like, the kids that came with no costume, there was always like that one kid who would show up to class with no costume, and they'd give him like a hobo stick and put like little hobo makeup on him.
Dude, was I that fucking kid? I was that fucking kid, because I don't remember any of that shit.
You seriously,
I
you can't remember
like Valentine's Day at school. I don't remember Halloween at school.
You don't remember Halloween before 10 years of age.
I don't. I swear to God. Wow. I don't know. This is not the beer or wine talking. This is, I need to see a fucking therapist, and I need to figure out where my Halloween memories went.
You're like Phoebe Cates and Gremlins. Like, every holiday you have like horrible stories that like traumatized you, and you just block them out.
Oh my God. No, I don't. I really don't remember.
You don't remember school parades on Halloween. Do you remember like having like orange cupcakes and like Halloween parties and stuff?
When you say that, the first thing I think of is high school. I remember that shit, but I'm like, wait, hold on. Anything before 10, and I can't think of a damn. I remember like when I was younger, I used to go to school. This is when I was like, I don't know, first or second grade. I would go to school in this Dalmatian onesie with like a hood and ears and everything. Like I'd go all out, but I would do that every day. I would wear that onesie every single day, and it wasn't just like, it wasn't a Halloween thing. I just wear it every day, and I can't think of anything else in between. I think I've repressed some shit.
I think you need to see a therapist soon, because
maybe,
yeah, there's 10 years of repression that
I know. Or maybe I just need to have, like, I don't know, a better Halloween. This year, I think Halloween's going to be okay.
Well, see, maybe your Halloween sucked until the SpongeBob one, which wasn't really that great either.
It was awesome. It was so great.
Asked to leave the mall where all the other
mall
kids.
That wasn't the end of Halloween, though. They were like, you know what? This mall sucks. This mall's jank as fuck. We're going to go to some neighborhoods and not just the trailer park. We went to some real neighborhoods, and we got them real candies.
My parents really did Halloween up big when I was a kid. Like, I remember them like having these crazy Halloween parties where like all these people would come over and everybody was dressed up and our house was all did up, and then we would do haunted houses at our church, which was like unheard of for churches to like do haunted houses with like ghosts and monsters. And like I remember one of my earliest memories is like my dad going through like the church haunted house, and my dad was on like a doctor's table, and there was somebody like sawing his leg, and like he had his leg down, you know, and then they had like wood straight forward, so it looked like his leg was being sawed on, and he was like screaming. And like I ran up to like the doctor and was like, "Leave my dad alone!" Like I had no like recollection that things were fake. And then another time I remember, I must have been 5 years old because my sister was a baby. My dad put on a Darth Vader mask and came down the hall at me like breathing like Darth Vader. But I guarantee, like, my dad doesn't do, like, good impressions or know about pop culture, so it didn't sound like Darth Vader. He was just coming down the hall, like, and, like, I freaked out and screamed and, like, ran to my mom. And, like, I was so scared.
And then you shit your pants.
And I shit my pants, which is the end of every story that I tell, is, and then I shit my pants. But, no, but, like, the fear of Halloween has lasted all the way through. I remember like it was high school, and I went to like the NAU haunted house, and like I would scream and run and like be really afraid. And my friend was like, "Do you like, is there something inside you that thinks that you're going to die here? Like, like that they're actually going to murder you?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I know it's not real, but in the moment I get really caught up in it."
Your butthole thinks it's real.
My butthole thinks it's real and just releases all of its contents into my shorts.
So I remember of the little Halloween memories I apparently have left. I remember Halloween in Flagstaff, and you would do a haunted house. This is before actually I knew you. Was that every year you would do like a really big haunted house. You lived on, I'm gonna shout out the address, pretty much Fox Glen Park, right? You lived like near Fox Glen.
Come on, just admit it. It's the fancy neighborhood.
There were two groups of people. The fancy neighborhood. Yeah. I remember when I came over to your house. That's right. I said it, house, the first time. I was like, "Oh, he has a house?
He has a house?
Not just any house, but he's got stairs?" What? I was so stoked about it. But no, this is before I met you, and I was still in high school, and there were two people. So it was like Sonawa Heights and Fox Glen.
Yeah.
Two people. I think you probably know the other people because they were your competition. And I'm not okay. I have to say, like, it was only because they had stage production experience on building.
They got in the paper.
They did.
And my haunted house never got in the paper. I think it was the
Brosies or the Brosers or something. They were brothers, and they were in Sonawa Heights. The only reason I ever went to their haunted house, which you couldn't even go through the house. That's the thing, is it was all from the front, but they would put on a performance, and it was so fucking good, like what they built.
I don't think it was that great.
You couldn't go through their house.
It wasn't.
And
that
so
good.
like it was bummed. You had to see it from the street, like
right.
when they performed. And it was like every half hour, but it was only because it was like 4 houses down from my best friend Taylor, and so every Halloween, we like in high school, obviously. We would go check out their thing. I remember their best production. It was, I think their last one that they did was like this Western or Wild West kind of show that they did. And it looked very like Tom Sawyer Island kind of Disneyland production style.
That's not Halloween though.
I know. But then you want to know what we did is immediately after, we're like, all right, we got to go check out the Fox Glen haunted house because it's supposed to be super scary.
Wait a minute. So you went to my haunted house when I didn't know you?
Yeah, and I didn't know you.
Oh shit!
And so,
okay.
Yeah, went to. So they're like, and they're like, yeah, every year we go to the Fox. They called your haunted house was the Fox Glen haunted house.
Yeah, like let's paint a picture real quick here because. Yeah. Okay, I would put on a haunted house. It started as like a little like 2-hall little nothing thing in my parents' garage. My parents only lived like a block away from me in Fox Glen. It was weird. So yeah, when I went and bought my big fancy house that Alicia was talking about, I bought it.
Stories.
I bought it in Fox Glen, and I seriously bought it because it had an awesome garage and it had an awesome like side area and back area for putting on haunted houses. Like I seriously thought about that as a consideration when I bought this house. And every year the haunted house would grow and grow and grow to the point where we never advertised or did anything like that. It was always
all by word of mouth.
It was all by word of mouth, and it was always free.
And you always had like the biggest crowds at your house. I do remember that.
Like
Everybody,
Halloween night, like starting at like 6 o'clock, there was a line around the block to go through my haunted house.
And I remember, so yeah, this was the first time I ever went to your haunted house, but like all of my friends every year. And like I was on lockdown a lot with living with my parents, so I never got to actually go out. But I was staying the night at Taylor's house a lot. And so the Brosies, I think it was Brosies, I think that was their last name, the Brosie brothers or whatever. They put on, it was a very kid-friendly, kind of event. You see it from the street, you watch it, and within like 10, 15 minutes, they're done. And then it's going to be another half hour to 45 minutes until they do the same exact thing again. And so it was like, oh, that was pretty cool. That was very entertaining. But if you wanted to be scared, and if you wanted like a legit haunted house, everyone's like, all right, well, we're waiting until like it's really dark, and like it's like and everybody waited until, I think you had like a prime time to go, and it was about 8 o'clock. Everyone's like, no, we got to wait till 8. We're going to go to the Fox Glen haunted house. And so we just like dicked around in the neighborhood until everyone's like checking their cell phones. Like, okay, all right, we got like 15 minutes. It's not going to take long to walk down there. And everybody would walk down. You would just see like mass crowd, like huge groups of people heading down.
But yeah, like it got so crazy, we had to start having like 2 to 3 people like as crowd control in the front.
Yeah, you did. I do remember that. Yeah, and it was at the door, and you had to like, they had to pause people, and they had to wait until they went all the way through and come back out. And all right, the next like 4 to 6 people you can go through.
Yeah,
and then like wait, like and that's when I knew, I was like, all right, this is kind of legit. Like this is pretty cool. Okay, you gotta like wait for them to send you through. The first time I went through, I think Tanner Gilliland, I think he was a part of your haunted house, or he was there and I just happened to see it. No, I think he was part of it. Anyway, you had this graveyard scene in your backyard. We went through, it started out your garage. You had like all of these plastic all lined the entire garage. And I remember this, like, it's pretty vivid how I remember, because I was just like, I've never been through like a full haunted house. And we walked through like your entire house. You went through the garage, through the side, like the side of the house. You went through, it was intense. You went through your entire house pretty much.
We'd wind them all over the place so that like you would lose yourself, like you wouldn't know really where you were, you know.
And you would section out, like I couldn't even tell it was like your house is so much bigger than what the haunted house seemed, but the haunted house seemed like we went through your whole house. It was weird. Right. And so we ended up in the backyard. You had people you had like a pool table. I remember your pool table because at one point when we actually started like hanging out, knowing each other, you asked me to help you with a haunted house, and I did only 1 year, which I felt pretty cool.
I asked your boyfriend every year if you and him wanted to come help with the haunted house, and every year he would turn me down and say that you guys had like special plans.
Oh yeah,
you were like, I mean seriously, like my whole film crew, everybody came and helped with the haunted house, you know, and then like friends of the people from the film crew would come and help with the haunted house. And every year he would turn me down.
I remember helping one time, and I hid under your pool table, and I had your it was like your claw hand thing. I didn't have to dress up. I just had to like reach out, and I would just grab people's feet with that claw hand.
It was a Freddy Krueger, but it was like the legit metal Freddy Krueger.
It was the legit one. I just felt pretty bitchin', just like, I was like, yo, fuck yeah, I'm gonna wear this shit. I'm gonna scare the shit out of people. This is great. And I just laid under a pool, like I laid down the entire night, just being like, like stabbing people. But I do remember like it was pretty scary, and I was just like kind of racing through with my friends, and you guys ended up having to kick people out. Like you guys were so popular.
We always had to have like a couple of bouncers too.
Yeah,
where people would either get scared and they wouldn't keep going. They would stop in the middle, and we'd have to be like, dude, you need to either get out or keep walking, you know? So like I always had a couple of big dudes like help me do that, you know? And then every once in a while you get like an a-hole who's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go through and start fucking shit up, you know, or just being an asshole, you know, and like hitting.
I don't know if you remember, but I was that 1 year that I went before I knew you. I was the kid in the Max costume from Where the Wild Things Are. I made it myself.
I do not recall that. A lot of kids came through. I may have noticed if you had a SpongeBob with a really like oblong nose. I might have noticed that with your hands just sticking straight out the sides, taking down
I was gonna redo that costume too. I was so fucking close.
Taking down all the cobwebs while you walk through, like tearing down everything.
It's crazy that like we have stories like before we actually met and started hanging out. My mom has stories about you before we actually met, and that's kind of funny.
Oh, I know, like Flagstaff is such a small town, so it really does have that like small town feel to it. So like me and your mom worked together at the hospital, and I knew your mom before I knew you. Yeah, and
nothing like small town Malvern or anything else here in Iowa. So.
My wife even says, she's like, I'm pretty sure I've met you before, and I was like, I guarantee you've met me before.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's Flagstaff, you've met them all.
Well, so let's talk about the time when I did really meet you for the first time, when you were molested by a Native American man in the hospital bathroom, and security was called.
That must have been like Halloween also. Yeah, the first time that I actually ever met Jason. Anyway, had to take my niece and nephew to the hospital. I think it was my nephew that had like a fever. They were up visiting from Phoenix.
What happened?
I slipped on an ice cube and got covered in boo-boos.
Boo-boos, eh? I think you guys want that hospital.
Weenie Hut General!
Anyway, we're waiting, and I'm in the waiting room with like my niece. She ended up spilling a soda on the lobby floor, so I went to the bathroom to get like a whole bunch of paper towels.
And that's where it all went down.
And this is where it all went down. This person was I thought they was a lady. They had long hair, and they were just at the sink washing their hands, but door wide open. I was like, okay, like, all right. I said, hey, I'm squeeze right by you, grab some paper towels, and I'm grabbing my paper towels because I'm trying to be quick. I turned around, and this person starts like rubbing their hand all up my thighs, like everywhere, and I'm just like, ugh. And so I shove him off me, punch him in the face, and I go back and I'm like, ew, gross, and like don't think anything of it, just like ew. Go back and I start cleaning up the soda in the lobby, and I tell my mom like, hey, there's some creepy ass. He fucking like tried to touch me, and I punched him right in the face. I don't know if he died or not, but I think he's in there. And so I'm back. We're back in the hospital room. Jason used to work at the hospital, the one hospital in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
And my mom freaks out, and she's like, somebody tried to touch you? Somebody tried to touch my baby? I don't think so. I'm calling security. Who fucking rolls up? But Jason,
the best
goddamn
looking fucking security guard that ever walked the earth.
And I'm like, I couldn't. So at this point, I'm laying in the hospital bed with my nephew because like he just wanted somebody to like cuddle with him, and he wouldn't keep quiet or hold still unless somebody was. So I was holding him in there, and it was just like, oh hey, and he's like, and I'm just quiet. I'm tired. I'm so beyond tired, and he's like, so somebody try to touch you, huh?
I did not just walk in and just be like, so somebody tried to touch you, huh?
No, but you definitely, I do remember it was just more just like, God damn it, like, why can't my night just be like
oh yeah, no, it was a total bummer. Like I had just come on shift, and they're like, some underage girl just got assaulted in the emergency room bathroom, and I'm like, God damn it, this is going to be an awful report.
Yeah, and I could feel it from you, and I was like, honestly, no big deal. I think I killed the guy. It is what it is. No, I think it was just really quiet, and I was just like falling asleep mostly, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, he tried to touch me, and I like shoved him off and whatever. He's like, okay, well, we're gonna look at the security footage. We're gonna try to find this guy. Y'all ended up finding the guy.
Oh, it was a big deal. Yeah, like we put out like an APB, and like no, yeah, you were acting like it was no big deal, but it was a big deal, and it was even a bigger deal because your mom was a nurse at the hospital, and that shit was not gonna fly.
Yeah, no, she was all over it, and she was like, I want this guy persecuted. I want him off the streets. Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? She's got the passion I wish I had at this moment, but all I really wanted was sleep.
She was seriously like, I want this man found, and I want him beaten to within an inch of his life. And I was like, I'll do what I can, ma'am. And you were just like, it happens to me all the time. It's no big deal. It's been happening to me every Halloween since I was 9 years old.
And it's weird. I don't remember most of it, but I'm pretty sure it's Halloween.
In a couple days, I bet I won't even remember this whole incident.
Then my mom slipped you a 20, was like, find this guy. And you were like, oh shit, fuck yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, I would have done it for 10.
10 and a beer. Where's my beer?
What's up now? And look how things have changed. It is fucking weird when you think about it, though, because you were like 14 years old.
I was.
And then here we are. Like,
and then I met you. We actually shook hands when I was 17, like 3 years later.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah. You're like
and
dating my friend. Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute. Aren't you?
And I was like, are you the... we'll talk about it later.
You're the molested girl. And I was like, oh, crazy. And then cut to like 20 years later and you're raising my children, living in my house. Fuck, the world is a weird place sometimes.
Yeah, it is. That's Halloween for you.
And that's fucking Halloween. The scariest Halloween that ever happened.
All right, can we just appreciate real quick? Because I've been continuing to drink my beer all night. My fucking sweater is the greatest sweater on this goddamn planet.
It's a podcast, stupid. They can't see your sweater.
Take a screenshot because my sweater says Prestige Worldwide.
It is a Prestige Worldwide. And that is a deep cut sweater, and I love it.
It's amazing. It's so warm. It's nice. I fucking love it. All right, what else are we going to talk about Halloween?
All right, so people moved on. We grew apart. I moved down to Phoenix, and then for some reason, so did every other friend of mine that I knew. Like, we all wound up down here in Phoenix. But
I moved to Iowa. What the fuck?
Well, you moved to Phoenix, then. Well, you've kind of been all over like a disgusting piece of trash blowing in the wind.
I moved to LA, then Phoenix, and then Iowa.
I lived a fairy tale life, and Alicia has always been the court jester in that life.
I hate you. All right, Halloween.
So I'm sad because I don't have the people anymore to do the Halloween stuff. And when I moved down to Phoenix, I moved like once a year. I've been down here like 6 years, and I've moved like twice a year every year the whole time I've been down here. And I just got tired of like bringing all that Halloween stuff around, man. So I finally had to like purge a lot of it. So I couldn't even do a haunted house now if I wanted to. And it makes me sad. Phoenix is one of the greatest cities in the world for haunted houses, but when they charge you like goddamn Disney prices to get into a haunted house that takes 2 minutes to walk through.
Do they like people at their house when they do haunted houses?
No, not so much at like a house, but like Phoenix has like a lot of like legit, like Alice Cooper does a haunted house, Rob Zombie does a haunted house, like everywhere, like every place that's like a.
Isn't there like Fear Farm?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's like Fear Farm, 13 floors. Like haunted houses are like a thing here, where they'll like 13th floor owns like a big box store. And it's just closed all year. And they just make enough money at Halloween time to, like, keep that store all year long. It's crazy.
I would be willing. And this is not the beer talking. I'll fly out to fucking Phoenix. Let's get... You have a garage.
I do have a garage.
You have a backyard. You have a house that's not 2 floors that you can easily, like, walk through. And
it's not on wheels or anything. It's not 2 floors anymore. But
you move that armchair from the front door that's blocking your front door. I bet you anything is still blocking your front door. You just
hit me under the belt. The one trashy thing that I have, where I have my front door covered by a rocking chair that is there because it is delightful to sit in and does not fit anywhere else in the living room. And you come through the garage, okay? So it doesn't need to have.
Saying. All you gotta do is just shift that a little bit. I'll fly out. We'll do a haunted house, a 2-person haunted house. I'll play all the characters. I'll follow people around in every room, and I'll start making them shit their pants. But you know what? You're gonna have to clean it up.
You're just gonna like walk around drunk as fuck with like a 12 gauge and just be like rack it in front of people and show people it's loaded.
Get the fuck walking!
You think this is safe? This isn't safe. I don't remember my first 9 Halloweens.
And just start like blowing through the ceiling. So. You might have to like you know what? You got to burn money to make money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Sometimes you got to break a couple of eggs to make an omelet or something.
That's whatever the saying is.
Whatever
you gotta, make it happen.
Is. I'm not stable. I have trick-or-treated in a trailer park. I've been removed from a mall as SpongeBob, for Christ's sakes.
Trick-or-treating in the trailer park, though, I swear to God, that has to be, if ever I write an autobiography, that has to be the title of it. Because there's so much to it.
There is. It really paints a picture without having to say much. Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, oh, you know what? I can relate. I gotta read this book. Pussy! Pussy!
Ew.
You once had a cat named Pickle Fucker.
I did.
Which I also thought was pretty cool.
The best thing ever was when that cat first jumped up on you and you looked at his little collar and he said, "Oh, you're cute. What's your name?" Pickle Fucker. And then you knew what kind of person you were dealing with.
And by the way, can I just throw out there, so Halloween at my work apparently is a huge deal. Everybody gets super into it, which I was like, fuck yeah, I love Halloween. It's my favorite thing.
Ever since I was 10 years old, I loved Halloween.
Yeah, it's always been my thing since I was 10. This year's Halloween theme is, it's not what I was expecting. It's Toy Story. Okay, and the whole everybody in the workplace, we have to dress up as a character from Toy Story, and everyone's like, Alicia, you should be Bo Peep. Alicia, you should be Barbie. I'm like,
so you're Jessie.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Somebody else is Jessie.
What the hell? So, you look like Jessie.
I look like Andy's mom. I was gonna be Andy's mom until I realized, oh wait, she shows her face in like Toy Story 2 and 3. I was gonna put like a black screen over my head and be like,
that would have been good, yeah.
So instead, I'm gonna be the Luxo lamp, the Pixar lamp.
The Pixar lamp.
It
has a name.
I googled it. Apparently, it's the Luxo lamp.
Luxo the lamp.
So I'm gonna dress in. I'm gonna find white jeans, a white long sleeve turtleneck, and I'm gonna put one of those fucking dog cones. And I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna stomp on bitches all day.
Are you gonna hop around all day?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna put like this cardboard like skirt thing on my feet, and I'm gonna hop around all day. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, I get into character with it. So I'm pretty stoked for it. But there's a girl at work who's gonna be Stinky Pete. And I'm so fucking excited.
That should have been your thing.
She like told me, she's like, I already signed up to be Stinky Pete. Nobody can be Stinky Pete. And she's so fucking funny. And I'm just like, I can't fucking wait. And she goes all out for it too.
Is she gonna do Stinky Pete in the box?
Probably.
That would be amazing.
She's gonna go. She's gonna.
That's awesome. Well, I want to see pictures of that. I want to see pictures of your costume. I want to hear stories when we do Halloween Part 2 with Alicia E. Rano.
What? Part 2?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
This is going to be the first November episode is Part 2. I want to hear all about your Halloween. I want to see if you've made your psychiatrist appointment and if you've recalled any of your previous Halloweens that have been blocked out.
I will only do Part 2 if I am pretty hungover, because I feel like that would be a great transition into Part 2.
That would be.
And I'll just be like, oh, I hate my life. Like, all right, Part 2. It's been a while.
What'd you do today, Alicia? Ooh, we made eggs. Is it cool if I eat cookies on this thing?
You will never let me live that down, the we made eggs thing.
It was so weird. It just didn't make any sense. Ugh.
I think I was still waking up and I was so hungover. Like, Alicia, what did you even do today? Are you productive at all? I'm like, we made eggs. Yeah, I fucking did shit. We made eggs. And you're like, who's we? I'm like, me, myself, and I.
Yeah, I knew like your boyfriend was out of town. You were by yourself. I was like, what is going on here? And you just looked. It was like 3 p.m. there. And you looked like you were just crawling out of the darkness.
Yeah, it was good time.
You are are an amazing person, and that is why I put you in my movies and on my podcast and all the creative things that I do. And that is why I want to see you succeed in this world with your bringing your music, your beautiful music. I want you to bring that gift to the world. And
I can't wait for people to hear my Hangover song. I want everyone to know, though, it's called Hangover, parentheses, parentheses.
I was going to ask you about that because you sent it to me and the file said Hangover.
Yeah.
I was
That
like, is that part of the name
title.
of the song? Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, I think I wrote that song. I think I remember the date. It was March 17th of 2017.
That must have been a rough one.
Yeah, and I promise you, I wrote that song while I was home. And I remember I was living in, this is going to be a great story real quick. I had a travel trailer I was living in my mom's backyard.
And how many cats lived in your one-room travel trailer?
I had 3 cats living in my 21-foot travel trailer. And I parked that shit right next to our fucking pool.
I remember walking into your home for the first time and just being like, wow, Alicia, you've really done something with yourself this time.
Oh my god, I'm crying. It's so fucking funny. I had this couch in there that it was a really fucking comfy couch though. I will admit, it was super comfy. It was super plushy. And you just fold the top end down and it turns into a bed. And I remembered I don't know, I would just get drunk and on my I would party, and I had these lights in there that I had this remote. There was these LED strip lights.
Oh, I remember.
I had this remote and I could change it to 20 different colors and then have a
Moving
strobe.
on up to the east side.
It was so fucking cool. I thought it was the coolest thing
I know
ever.
you did think it was the coolest thing ever,
And
and I remember you being like, I don't have to bow down to the man. I don't have to pay rent. I own this bitch.
But the thing is, I would still pay my mom rent. So I'm like, hey, thanks for letting me plug into your power. Can I keep you using your utilities? I'll pay you.
Oh,
She's like, yeah,
God.
of course, honey. I'm like, fucking love my trailer. And
Mom, can I come inside? I have to take a shit. I don't like doing it out here because then I have to empty it.
totally true. But also, I kept tripping the breaker where the trailer was plugged in. So the AC's not running. I gotta sleep on the couch for a minute. But anyway, I would drink Jack Daniels out of this teacup that it was my grandmother.
Oh,
my
classy.
grandmother had. Yeah. And so, I remember waking up and I was just so hungover. And I don't normally get hungover. And I was I just laid there all day and I was like, I'm writing a song today. And I just had my friend's guitar and I was just, digging around on it. And now I have my own guitar and I still dig around on it. And tomorrow I'm going to be laying in this room hungover. And I'll be like, at least I'm not in a trailer outside the pool, right next to the pool where I can't shit in. And
I remember the only thing you had to eat in that whole place was half a box of powdered donuts.
No, I had Eggos too.
And now you're all proud of yourself because you have an apartment and you eat pizza bites for dinner.
All I eat is pizza rolls, ever.
You're what are you talking about? This shit is hot. Do you know how long it's been since I've had a hot, home-cooked meal?
No, James made me chicken and pasta. It had rosemary spice on it. I tasted it.
Awesome.
But he also put a handful of pizza rolls on the side for me. I swear to God.
Because like a little kid, you won't eat unless there's peanut butter and jelly and macaroni and cheese involved.
Because he fucking there's totally the cutest little handful of pizza rolls next to my pasta. He's like, "Here, I love you." And I was like, oh. And he even he didn't even come in and interrupt me because I was playing music or whatever, and he just put the plate down. He's like, "Here you go, here, hon, here's some food." I was like, "Oh, thank you, pizza rolls."
Oh my God, Alicia, you wonder why I keep you around? It's because you're a constant source of entertainment. and you asked me when I said, let's talk about just like crazy Halloween stuff. You were like, oh, I don't know. What am I going to say? What am I going to have to talk about? And I knew once I just get you talking, then an hour, we've gone an hour and 23 minutes. It is just flown right by.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm awesome.
No, don't apologize for it. Embrace that shit. Like,
thank you.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Thank you. Okay. All right. We need to get
and
this
on that
shit
note, I want to wish everybody a very happy Halloween. For anybody that's listening to this in a trailer, there's nothing wrong with trick-or-treating in your neighborhood. Go out there and own that shit.
You get the best candy.
If you've been assaulted on Halloween, please tell a policeman, a teacher,
or your
an
hospital
adult
security officer
that you trust.
And the Fox Glen haunted houses are always better than the Sonawa Heights. Doesn't matter how much money's put into it. Don't forget to support your trashy haunted house individuals.
That's right, because those guys that go out there and make the haunted houses in their backyard, they're true Americans.
That they are.
They're keeping it real for the rest of us. So on that note, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook at Talking Poop Podcast. Alicia Irano is on the Instagrams if you want to see what she's all about. I'm going to be posting some pictures of our favorite Halloween costumes, and I've got that one of Alicia and her SpongeBob. I also have a picture she shared with me that we're going to put on Instagram of her just as a young buck, full of life, full of opportunity. And it is a school photo that...
I think it's a 6th or 7th grade school photo.
That has the watermark on it to let everybody know that she didn't pay for it. And then her mom just cut out the promo picture and said, "This is for our memory book."
Oh, shit.
But you know what, Alicia? You never knew you were poor, right?
I have that... No, I knew I was poor. I knew. But couldn't do anything about it. I wasn't making money. I have that picture up on my... I have a little cork board, and I have the proof part. It's actually behind another picture, so you can't tell it's a proof unless you pull the whole thing out. That's how classy I am.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
But you shouldn't be ashamed. You should...
Oh, no.
Don't try to pretend like you're a better person than you used to be. Like,
I sent you a picture of it.
You were awesome then, and you were awesome now, and you should own that shit. And in closing, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being you, Alicia. Happy Halloween to all of our listeners. I hope you guys have a great one. I'm hoping to still have another Halloween special headed your way, but we're going to have to see if we can make that happen. You've been listening to Talking Poop. Our numbers are getting better and better every month, so I really appreciate that. Make sure to check
classy.
Stay classy.
Stay sassy.
Alicia, you're supposed to wait until I cue you. I'm still
sorry.
I'm still promoting stuff, giving myself shout outs. Yes, check us out on YouTube, where you can also see Alicia's music video, Dill Don't Leave Me. That's getting a lot of clicks, a lot of views. It's pretty cool. You can also see one of my many film failures, and I forgot, also starring Alicia Irano. Flux Capacitation is up there.
God damn it.
Shows
Jason.
you with your pants down.
It's for everyone listening. It is Ireno. It's Alicia Ireno. Yep.
So yeah, so follow her on Instagram because she's a hell of a chick, and look forward to more music videos from her and more musical exploits. If you guys don't like that I'm putting songs on the end of my podcast, well, you can eat my butt because I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, you can eat the poop in which we are talking.
Yes, that's right.
Stay classy, stay sassy, stay spooky, and stay poopy.
And on that note, we're out.
Vodka's not your friend, neither is your friend in bed. And when the morning comes, there's no escape that pounding in your head. You can try all of the methods, take all of the advice, from drinking one more alcohol to greasy chili fries. But screw it all when your boss calls to ask if you're coming in. Give in and tell them, Red Rover, I've got a hangover, wouldn't pass a sobriety test. Give me a solution to end my confusion, not a fan of this consequence. And I'll try to remember to get my shit together. Please don't bother me again. My friend, alcohol's not my friend. You're begging and pleading because your insides are screaming. You just want it all to end. There's nobody out there, nobody listening. You swear you'll never do it again. Then 2 days pass until you're holding a glass that's filled to the brim. Oh, not again. Red Rover, I've got a hangover, wouldn't pass a sobriety test. Give me a solution to end my confusion, not a fan of this consequence. And I'll try to remember to get my shit together. Please don't bother me again. My friend, alcohol's not my friend. I'd sell my soul to get off this roller coaster ride, but at least I've tried. Red Rover, I've got a hangover, wouldn't pass a sobriety test. Give me a solution to end my confusion, not a fan of this consequence. And I'll try to remember to get my shit together. Please don't bother me again. My friend, alcohol's not my friend.